what's up guys? It's Anthony here for another video. I'm going to be breaking down, what is tech sales? Why is it such a hot career right now? Why are so many people wanting to break into tech sales? Some of the roles, positions, the day in life of what these people do, and why you guys should also consider doing tech sales as well. So if that sounds interesting, let's hop right into it. So tech sales is different from other sales jobs that you might think of that are more of your stereotype of roles like car salesman people or people that work, for example, at TELUS or Verizon's and you're selling phone plans. Those are considered to be, D2C type of sales or B2C, business to consumer. And it's typically more low ticket because you're selling like a cell phone plan for, let's say, $50 per month versus B2B, which is what tech sales really is. And you're selling technology like software, which is the most common, but you can also be selling things like software hardware or even things like Bitcoin hardware, mining machines, really anything that's related to selling technology to other businesses to help them enhance or to help solve their problems. That's essentially what tech sales is. So you're kind of like a high ticket closer, but in the corporate world, right? You're not really selling to people like yourself who are business to consumers who have less money and can't really afford to pay for very expensive software solutions, unlike corporations that would pay for thousands of dollars for software solutions. So that's kind of the difference between, what a B2C and B2B deal looks like. And within the B2B world, there's various different roles. So the entry level role is the sales development representative, which is what I started off as well. And in this role, you're basically cold calling, cold emailing, and you're really just generating leads, which is basically you're basically getting people to show up to a meeting and talk to the closers, which are typically in the B2B world called account executives. So that's really the entry level role. You're really just prospecting, you're developing that muscle of how do you really spark the interest of someone within the first, 5 to 10 seconds of a cold call, or how to spark someone's interest through copyright, which is through your emailing, and to get them to book a meeting so that you can show that your product or service is the right fit for that company. And the next level up from that is your account executives. So your account executives are the ones that actually close a business, and they basically are the ones that are responsible for really taking customers from their from their current situation all the way to their desired situation. They're really digging into the pain, quantifying that pain, developing business cases and business ROIs. So you really have to really enjoy understanding and putting your customers at the center of the attention of the problems, really understanding them and their problems, where they want to go, and finding a solution. And that solution is going to be whatever product or service that you're selling at the time. And in terms of like compensation between these two roles, like your sales development, business development representatives are making somewhere between your 80,000 to upwards of 120,000. Obviously this is company dependent, but that's kind of like the range where you would start off and what the role typically would look like. And then when you go up to that account executive level, there's different levels of segments that you're selling in. So you typically would start off in SMB type of businesses, which is your small to medium type of businesses. Then you would move up to mid-market and then eventually to enterprise. So your small to medium businesses, think about it as selling to your mom and pop shops. So you might have, depending on the company lingo or what they define as SMB, it's typically your mom and pop shops. Your mid-market companies, those guys are a lot bigger. They have a lot more business processes, structures. There's a lot of hierarchy within these type of companies. And then your enterprise companies are, the biggest companies that you know today, your Nikes, your Walmart, your Home Depots, all those big mega corporations typically that are publicly traded, making billions of dollars or hundreds of millions of dollars. Those typically are the enterprise types of companies. So obviously when you're selling into these larger enterprise companies, that's where the real money is made. So enterprise account executives, they're making the top band of the money. So those guys are making somewhere between $300,000 plus per year. Some of them can hit even 7 figures if they're closing very large deals. They get really good sales territories. All of these things will impact influence of how salespeople will do. But if you're in the right company at the right time, you can really make over 7 figures depending on what company, what product you're selling. But it's not out of the realm of possibilities. So that's kind of like the core functions of the roles. Account executives are mainly responsible for finding new business. And there's another role where I call it as an account manager. So account managers are those that are more responsible for what we call them farmers in tech sales. And they're just more responsible for client retention, so customer retention after you already sold them into your solution, making sure that they're happy with the product, they're not going to churn on you, and you want to cross-sell them or find existing or more opportunities to sell them additional products to generate more revenues from your clients. And then you have your other roles that are kind of not really tech sales, but are related. They're your sales engineer. They're also considered to be tech sales, but less on the sales side. They're more your technical counterparts. They're really brought in as a technical people or technical experts on their products, and they're able to answer any type of sales questions or anything that's really more tied to the product and the features and functionalities and more the technicals. And then you have your customer success managers. So these are people that are responsible for post sales. So once you make the sale, you have your account manager that's responsible for making sure that they're retained, upselling them. And then you have customer success people. So these people are making sure that your customers are enabled, they're happy, and you want to teach them things and just enable them. So these are your customer success managers. So those are the typical roles that you would have in sales. And then you obviously have the other path if you don't want to be an individual contributor, is just becoming a manager. So you're managing sales reps, you're managing business development representatives. And those roles typically are well paying as well, depending again on the company you're with and the compensation structure. But that's another path that other people typically go to as well when they're a little bit more unsatisfied with the individual contributor path. They feel like they have a bigger impact with coaching and enabling their salespeople or sales team, or they just really like helping people on their sales team. They typically go into sales management as well. So that's kind of like a few different roles that you can get into tech sales and kind of how the levels work. So it'd be your BDR, SDR roles, business development representatives, sales development representatives, and then moving up into the account executives, selling into SMB, selling into mid-market, and eventually into enterprise roles. And sales, I think in my opinion, it's a very slept upon, and tech sales in general as well, because no one really talks about it in school. At least for myself, when I was growing up, no one really talked about it. No one really told me that this was a career path. And oftentimes, a lot of the tech sales people are coming into sales from various different backgrounds, from various different careers and industries. I myself broke in from civil engineering. I've seen people do it from being accountants, from being in retail sales for more of the B2C side, in retail sales like selling phones, bartenders, teachers. I've seen a whole mix of it all, and they all transferred into tech sales. But it's a really slept upon industry in my opinion, because there's no industry where you can come from no background in sales or B2C sales, or even becoming like a teacher or engineer like myself, and fully transfer over and have that skill set to be able to close multi-million-dollar deals one day in the enterprise space. So there's no career quite like it, and there's no career quite like sales, because you're actually rewarded in proportion to the amount of value that you provide to the company. And it's strictly, you can see it. It's black and white, right? You sell $1 million, you might make 40% of that, right? Depends on your comp plan, but your value to the company is day and night, and that provides you the opportunity to really control the pace of your career and to really grow in your sales career, to whether you want to grow up in market segment and sell and close larger deals, or you want to go into the management path. Sales is one of those few careers that let you really dictate the pace of your own career. So that's why I really love sales and what the opportunity is right now. And I really think that more and more people should consider being in tech sales, because unlike your other sales jobs where you have that stereotype of being a greasy salesman or a pushy salesman, tech sales is not really like that at all. It's really about understanding your customers, understanding their pain points, and being able to connect or map that back to your product or service. And it's also very fulfilling, because you can see how how much pain your customers are having, and how much money or time that they're spending or wasting with doing the things that they're doing right now, and how much your product can help save them in terms of time or in terms of money. So it's a great experience in terms of just helping others or helping businesses solve big problems as well and being rewarded for that. So that's the way that I look at tech sales, and that's what really tech sales is. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video and that was helpful. If you guys like this video, please share this video, guys, and make sure to share it with someone who's wondering what tech sales is, if they're thinking about getting into it, and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be coming up with more videos like this. But otherwise, hope you guys enjoy, and peace out.